Hi, my people. Welcome back to another episode of reviewing the book Diary of a CEO. We've reviewed 11 laws so far. We have 33 laws of business and life. We've reviewed 11 so far. So we're going to take 2 laws today, Law 12 and Law 13. Hopefully we do that. Maybe we add 14 or something, but we are doing Law 12 and Law 13 today. So let's get into it. So Law 12 says Law 12 says you must piss people off. Like, you must piss people off, right? Okay, so this law will explain why pissing people off is an unaffordable consequence of building a brand that matters, and why hate is a signal that you are saying the right things. Let me take that again. This law will explain why pissing people off is an unaffordable consequence of building a brand that matters, and why hate is a signal that you are saying the right things. So let's get into the highlighted part of things. At this point, I just have to call it out. My sister is disturbing me. So the very first highlighted part of things is indifference. When people don't love you or hate you, is the least profitable outcome of a marketer. So let me just read this part. Indifference to your words, your message, or your calls to action is the surest path to the dreaded habituation filter mentioned in the previously, like if you watch previous videos, we spoke about habituation. So the indifference of your words, when your words are indifferent, and what it means that people don't love or don't hate it, like, is the least profitable outcome of your, like, the outcome of a marketer. Like, the outcome, you are marketing something, the outcome is the person is indifferent about it. I really don't like it, I really don't hate it. Like, you can't find the balance. Means that gives you the short part of, like, habituation, right? If you want to know more, please read go watch my previous video on Law 11. It talks about habituation, right? Okay, so now we get into the final quote. So I think Law 12 is very short, and the Law 12 says, some people will love you, some people will hate you, some people simply won't care. You will only connect to the first 2, but not the third. Indifference is the least profitable outcome. I will want to take this again. Some people will love you, some people will hate you, some people will simply, I just added a will. Some people simply won't care, like, they just don't care. That's okay. You will only connect to the first 2. Thus, you connect to the people who love you and the people who hate you, all right, but not the third, because they really do not care. Then indifference is the least profitable outcome. So when you actually, I don't get it. So when you actually market a product, right, and some people do not care, that's it. They just don't care. So, but when you get people to dislike it, or when you get people to like it, like, that's kind of high profit. So when there's an indifference, I really don't like it. I don't know what I feel about this thing. They really wouldn't push much. So that's the least profits of like marketing something. But when you get people to hate it, when someone hates something, like, there's energy on that. When someone loves something too, there's energy on that. So that's too you connect with. Like, I get it now. So in sense of my YouTube channel currently, that I am doing this and I'm also doing things on tech, right? People will like it, that's okay. People will hate it, that what are you talking about? That's also okay. But people wouldn't just care. But when I connect with the people who hate me and the people who love me, that's okay for me. Like, I'm marketing right. But when I get people who really don't know where I'm going, where I'm not going, that's a problem. That's what I got from this law. So let's get into law 13, and that says shoot your psychological moonshots first. So under this law, it says this law will show you how to create huge perceived value in your customer's mind with shockingly tiny, often free or superficial changes to your product, and reveals the psychological tricks your favorite brands are using on you right now. So sometimes, true, like changing the packaging of a product, you just like the packaging, so you buy it, right? So some brands have changed packaging. They've not done anything, they just changed the package, but we get to see people buying more. So that's what this law is talking about. Once again, we are not reading the full book, but we are just, the book comes with highlighted parts of things, so we are just reading the law and then discuss the highlighted parts of things and we learn from it. I am yet to read this book as well. I bought it and I decided to do this for my community, to review it for my community, so that it could be a good read for you to get, right? So the next highlighted part of law 13 says a psychological moonshot is a relatively small investment that drastically improves the perception of something. Let me take that again. A psychological moonshot is a relatively small investment that drastically improves the perception of something. So psychological moonshots prove that it's nearly always cheaper, easier, or more effective to invest in perception than reality. All right, I feel like taking it again. Let me just take it again. A psychological moonshot is a relatively small investment that drastically improves the perception of something. Psychological moonshot, that is nearly always cheaper, easier, and more effective to invest in. Psychological moonshots prove that it is nearly always cheaper, easier, and more effective to invest in perception than reality. I just don't want to go into details. I don't know why. Right, so there's a diagram here, and the diagram says so we judge our past experience almost entirely on how they were at their peak and how they ended. Then we move on to net pleasantness or unpleasantness, or the length of the experience is almost entirely disregarded. So I just want you to take a look at this. Sorry about the background noise. This is just one of those things, being a beginner. So you see, so there's this this is a past experience, right? We just judge it by the peak of it, but actually maybe the duration is just, you consider the duration, it just ended in one season, but in our minds we just forget about the duration, that is just short, and think about this. So when we are thinking about this, we think it for a long while. That's what I understand by the diagram, that instead of you to just see that this was just a season, we actually think about this part for a long while, and it affects the other side, right? Once more here. So we get into another highlighter part, and it says it's been repeatedly proven that what motivates us most is how close we are to achieving a goal. We work faster the closer we are to success. Are you sure? Because sometimes you feel like, you see, when you are maybe, I don't know, like having a walk and you are almost at the finish line, I don't know, but it feels like you get more tired, and I don't know, but this is saying that no, you actually get more faster. Well, I don't know. When you are getting successful, you feel it, and I'll come and refer back, right? Okay, so let's read the last part of law 13. So okay, so let's go. Do not wage a war on reality. Invest in shaping perception. Our truth is not what we see. Our truth is the story we choose to believe in. Do not wage a war on reality. Invest in shaping perceptions. Our truth is not what we see. Our truth is the story we choose to believe. That's on period. I think let's just do one more law, which is law 14, and it says friction can create value. And under this law, it says this law will show you the intuitive truth about something. Sometimes your customers, this law will show you the counterintuitive truth about sometimes your customers will want your products more if you make their experience worse. If you make their experience worse, they will want your product more. We'll get there. I'm not there yet. I don't have any products online, but I don't know. But wow, this book has a lot of content. So one of the quoted things here under law 14 says these examples. Okay, so there are examples in this chapter. So these examples prove that making things easier isn't necessarily the path to psychological moonshot. Sometimes you have to do the opposite. Increase friction, wait times, and inconvenience to achieve the same increase in perceived value. Reading this gives me like the story of, or like the life of a content creator or a fashion designer I really love, which is Vicky James, right? Vicky James is now a content creator. I don't know whether it's there full time, but she's always giving us buzz boosts like with the love and all that. But I realized that sometimes she gets hateful comments. She gets, in fact, people even sit down to make a lot of like hateful videos about her, but she keeps bringing the content, right? Some content which I feel like is very uncomfortable, but I keep watching because I love the girl, right? I love the woman, right? So even with the hateful ones, like it still keeps pushing it, and even get people with the hateful trends, or when they are dragging her, it get people to go on her page, right? So like truly this law actually works when you actually do the opposite, not like letting people love you but let people hate you and let them talk about you. It brings her value to her page, so people get to watch it. So like it's always that every time she has something, like you have something to talk about her with. Whoa, this is well done. Let's just go, right? All right. Okay, so the final quote for law 14 says value does not exist. Hey, we are on the journey of building value this year. Value does not exist. It is a perception we reach with expectations we meet. Value does not exist. It is a perception we reach with expectations we meet. So value is perceptions due to an expectation. That's what I understand from this. And we've come to the end of reviewing the book Diary of a CEO. And in this episode we've discussed law 12, which is you must piss off people. We've discussed law 13, which says shoot your psychological moonshots first, and then we've discussed law 14, which says why are you law 14? Well, sorry, friction can create value, right? So that's what we've discussed this episode. And in the next one we are going to discuss 15, which says the frame matters more than the picture. And then we move on to use Goldilocks to your advantage. So law 16 says use Goldilocks to your advantage, and law 15 says the frame matters more than the picture. So we get into it in the next episode of reviewing the book Diary of a CEO. You know what we do here? Please tell a friend to tell a friend to tell that other friend that Miss Layana has dropped another video on reviewing the book Diary of a CEO, and we've learned about marketing strategies, and that friend is going to learn a lot, so he or she should join us on this journey, right? Please subscribe to this channel, like this video, and share this video to your friend. Thank you so much for watching, and it's bye for now.